If you're hiring right now, your first question is probably, how fast can this role realistically be filled? Not in a perfect market, but in today's conditions. Across manufacturing, skilled trades, construction, warehousing, transportation and logistics, engineering, and office support, what's a realistic timeline to fill a position, and what factors actually determine how quickly it happens?
And that's the key word, realistic, because hiring speed isn't just about posting a job and waiting for applications to roll in. It's about alignment. Alignment between the role and the candidate, alignment between expectations and reality, and alignment between how quickly an employer can make decisions and how quickly candidates move on.
We're hearing two different things from employers right now. Some are saying there are more applicants than there were a year ago, and they expect hiring to move faster. Others are saying certain roles still take weeks or even months to fill. Both of those things can be true at the same time, depending on the role and how the hiring process is structured.
Exactly. So today we're going to walk through what hiring speed looks like right now across key industries. We'll talk about realistic timelines, what speeds up hiring, what slows it down, and what employers can do today if they want to fill roles faster without sacrificing quality or long-term retention.
Let's start with the big picture. Overall, hiring has become more selective in some sectors and still highly competitive in others. Entry-level roles in light industrial, warehouse, and some clerical positions can often be filled relatively quickly when the process is clear and responsive. But specialized roles in skilled trades, engineering, and transportation still require more time and careful coordination.
And one of the biggest factors right now is decision speed. Candidates today often explore multiple opportunities at once. They're applying to several roles, taking interviews, and comparing options. If one employer moves quickly and communicates clearly, they usually secure the hire. If another employer takes too long to respond, they risk losing that candidate to someone else.
So let's go industry by industry and talk about realistic timelines and what's influencing them. Starting with light industrial and warehouse roles. These positions can often be filled within days or a couple of weeks when the hiring process is streamlined. But that depends on several factors: pay rate, shift schedule, physical demands, location, and how quickly an employer confirms interviews and start dates.
We see hiring move fastest in these roles when employers provide clear details up front. Candidates want to know the shift. They want to know the environment. They want to know if there's overtime. They want to know if the role could become long-term. When that information is available early, decisions happen faster.
When that information isn't clear, candidates hesitate. They may apply but wait to commit. Or they may accept another offer that feels more certain. So clarity becomes a speed factor.
Let's move into manufacturing. Entry-level manufacturing roles can often be filled relatively quickly when onboarding is organized, but more technical roles, CNC operators, maintenance technicians, quality specialists, tend to take longer. These roles require experience and often certification. Candidates with those skills usually have options.
And when candidates have options, they compare. They look at pay, they look at stability, they look at schedule and commute. Employers who respond quickly and communicate clearly about the role tend to move faster in securing hires.
Skilled trades follow a similar pattern. Welders, electricians, HVAC technicians, machinists. These roles are still in high demand. Hiring timelines often range from a couple of weeks to longer, depending on how specific the requirements are. The more flexible an employer can be in training or onboarding, the faster hiring can move.
When employers require a very narrow skill set with no room for training, timelines stretch. When they're open to strong fundamentals and site-specific training, timelines shorten. That flexibility can make a big difference.
Construction hiring often depends on project timelines. When a project ramps up quickly, hiring needs to move fast. Employers who already have onboarding steps ready can bring workers on within days. But if approvals or scheduling are unclear, hiring slows down.
Transportation and trucking also vary widely. Some driving roles can be filled quickly, especially local routes with clear schedules. But experienced drivers often evaluate multiple offers. They're looking at consistency, equipment quality, and route stability. Employers who communicate those details early tend to fill roles faster.
Logistics and coordination roles usually fall in the middle. They can be filled within a few weeks when job responsibilities are clearly defined. But if the role is broad or unclear, candidates hesitate. Again, clarity speeds things up.
Office and clerical roles often move quickly when expectations are straightforward. Administrative support, customer service, and scheduling roles can often be filled within a couple of weeks when communication is strong and interviews are scheduled quickly.
So let's talk about what slows hiring down across all industries. One major factor is unclear job descriptions. When candidates don't fully understand the role, they hesitate to commit. Another factor is slow communication. If candidates don't hear back quickly after applying or interviewing, they assume the process has stalled.
Decision delays are another big one. Sometimes hiring teams need multiple approvals. Sometimes schedules are tight, but every day of delay increases the chance that a candidate accepts another offer.
Another factor is misalignment between the job description and the actual role. If candidates discover new requirements late in the process, trust drops and timelines extend.
Now let's talk about what speeds up hiring. Clear job expectations, transparent pay ranges, quick interview scheduling, honest conversations about schedule and environment. When candidates know what they're stepping into, they make decisions faster.
Streamlined onboarding also helps. When paperwork, orientation, and start dates are organized, candidates feel confident committing. Uncertainty slows things down. Organization speeds things up.
Employers sometimes think speed means lowering standards, but that's not the case. Speed comes from clarity and coordination. When everyone involved understands the process and moves efficiently, hiring becomes faster without sacrificing quality.
There's also a trust element. Candidates want to feel that an employer respects their time. When communication is timely and expectations are clear, trust builds. And when trust builds, decisions happen faster.
Let's talk about practical steps employers can take today. First, review your job descriptions. Make sure they're accurate and clear. Second, evaluate response times. How quickly are candidates contacted after applying? Third, streamline interviews. Can decisions be made faster?
Fourth, communicate openly about pay and schedule. Fifth, confirm start dates quickly. Sixth, provide clear onboarding steps. These simple actions can significantly reduce hiring timelines.
Across all industries, hiring speed depends on alignment. Alignment between expectations and reality. Alignment between employer timelines and candidate timelines. When that alignment exists, hiring moves faster.
And when hiring moves faster, teams stabilize faster. Projects move forward, productivity improves, and candidates feel confident in their decision to join.
So if you're asking how fast you can fill roles right now, the answer depends on preparation. Preparation to communicate clearly, preparation to move quickly, and preparation to align expectations from the start.
We hope today's conversation gives you a realistic view of what hiring timelines look like across industries and what steps can help you fill roles faster.
Thanks for joining us for this discussion on how fast employers can fill roles right now.
And we'll see you next time for another practical conversation about hiring, workforce trends, and building strong teams.